Act like you were meant to win. Not someday, not if everything aligns, but now, today, as if victory has already been carved into your DNA. You've been playing small for too long, shrinking your voice, burying your power, but something inside you knows that version of you is done. You weren't born to be average. You weren't wired to quit. There's a fire inside you that refuses to be silent. And here's the truth. No one is coming to unlock your potential. No one is handing out confidence. No one is offering certainty on a silver platter. You have to act like it's already yours. You must step forward like the ground will appear, move like the door will open, decide like your future depends on it because it does. The winners? They don't wait for permission. They declare their intentions with their actions. They show up without applause. They persist without guarantees. They act like they were meant to win. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. You can't become something you're unwilling to claim. You can't build a future you're afraid to walk toward. And you don't have to fake it. You have to embody it. That means refusing to retreat when it gets uncomfortable. Refusing to fold just because the odds aren't perfect. Because winners aren't made in easy seasons. They're forged in the moments when most people would turn back. Your confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from history, from keeping promises to yourself, from showing up even when the excuses are loud. The world mirrors your energy. If you act uncertain, it will feed you more doubt. But if you move with intention, it begins to shift in your favor. That's the secret they won't tell you. The shift doesn't happen first in your bank account, your body, or your business. It happens in your posture, in the way you enter the room, in how you speak your dreams out loud. Start speaking like your success is inevitable. Start walking like you've already overcome. Start deciding like regret is not an option. Because when you do, everything else starts to catch up. Your beliefs become bold, your standards rise, your actions align, and that's when the world begins to respond. Not to your potential, but to your decision. Winning is not reserved for the chosen few. It's claimed by those who choose to act like they've already won. You weren't meant to live on the sidelines. You were built for the arena. So stop rehearsing defeat. Stop memorizing your limitations. Stop negotiating with your excuses. Start living like the outcome is certain as long as you keep moving. Because if you move like a winner, think like a winner, persist like a winner, you become one. This isn't about pretending. It's about remembering. Remembering that your doubts were learned, but your power is original. That your fear is borrowed, but your drive is yours. You don't need another sign. You don't need another strategy. You need a decision. One decision to rise. One moment to flip the switch. This is it. No more hoping. No more waiting. You're not lost. You're late. Late to your own greatness. Late to your own power. Late to the version of you that's been screaming to be released. But the good news, you're right on time if you move now. You can't fix the past. You don't control the future. But you own this moment. And what you do with it can change everything. Decide now. Walk now. Speak now. Move now. As if you were meant to win. You must train your mind to obey your vision, not your mood. Because your mood will lie to you. It will say, not today. It will whisper, you're tired. You're not ready. It's too late. But your vision, it tells the truth. It reminds you of the life that's possible if you keep going. It shows you what happens if you don't give up. Act like the version of you who already crossed the finish line. How would they move? How would they speak? How would they handle what you're facing now? That version of you isn't afraid of the unknown. They've already faced it. They don't hesitate when it's hard. They know the breakthrough lives there. Everything you want is already waiting on the other side of consistency, courage, and conviction. Your job? Stop arguing for your limitations. Stop rehearsing your failures and start building momentum like your life depends on it, because it does. Momentum doesn't come from motivation. It comes from motion, from doing the thing you said you'd do even when it's not convenient. And the moment you act like the winner you were designed to be, the world will begin to rearrange itself in your favor. You were not meant to beg for opportunity. You were meant to create it. You were not made to fit in. You were made to rise above. And no, you won't always feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a choice. So choose now. Choose power over passivity. Choose progress over perfection. Choose to rise not because it's easy, but because you refuse to settle for anything less than your potential. Your future is not waiting for the perfect moment. It's waiting for your decision. And when you act like you were meant to win, you send a signal to everything around you that it's time to follow your lead. You are not an accident. You are not average. You are not powerless. You are powerful. You are prepared. You are here for a reason. Act like it, move like it, build like it, and the world will catch up. Because the second you stop waiting to feel ready and start showing up anyway, life starts making room for your boldness. You must lead yourself. You must become the authority in your own life. Stop outsourcing your momentum. Stop waiting for motivation to knock. It won't. Champions don't wait to be inspired, they move to inspire. They act before the fear disappears. They show up before the plan is perfect. They create proof through persistence. There is no shortcut around action, no mindset shift without movement, no breakthrough without showing up consistently. What are you building today that your future self will thank you for? What discomfort are you embracing now so that you don't suffer regret later? The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret echoes for years. And you know what's worse than failing? Wondering what could have happened if you had just gone all in. So go all in. Bet on yourself like you bet on others. Speak to yourself like you speak to someone you believe in. Show up like someone who deserves to win. Because you do. You deserve to win it because it's guaranteed, but because you're willing to do what most won't. You're willing to fail forward, to stay consistent when it's boring, to remain focused when others chase distractions. This is not about hype. It's about identity. Winners don't just train habits, they train their identity. They wake up and remind themselves, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is where I'm going. And they align their day with that vision. You can too. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. Every time you act like it's possible, you push the finish line closer. Every time you speak with conviction, you silence a little more doubt. Every time you take another step, the old version of you falls further behind. And that's how transformation works, not overnight, but over time. Stacked decisions, repeated actions, unshakable resolve. This is your moment. Act like you were meant to win, and eventually the world won't just believe it, it'll prove you right. You've got one life, one window, one chance to become all that you were designed to be. So stop playing beneath your potential. Stop shrinking to fit the comfort of others. Stop pretending you don't care when you do. The truth? You were made for more. You know it. You feel it. Now it's time to act like it. No more excuses. No more delays. No more half commitments. You are the author. You are the engine. You are the revolution. Act accordingly. And if doubt still lingers, let it watch you win. Let your actions scream louder than fear. Let your momentum drown out hesitation. Because once you decide to move like a winner, nothing can stop you except stopping. And you're not stopping. Not this time. This is the chapter where everything shifts. This is the moment you rise. Not because it's guaranteed, but because you've already decided. You were meant to win. And one more thing, winners don't arrive at greatness. They build it. Brick by brick. Hour by hour. Thought by thought. They don't hope for transformation. They construct it with relentless consistency. So if you still have breath in your lungs and a pulse in your chest, then you have the tools to create momentum. No more hiding behind hesitation. No more bowing to fear. No more loyalty to the past version of you. This is the emergence. This is the unveiling of the real youth, the one who was never average to begin with. So rise, speak, build, move, as if your legacy depends on it. Because it does. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need applause to begin. What you need is one decision, one defiant commitment that you won't live another day beneath your potential. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. And your next level will not arrive wrapped in comfort, it will come wrapped in challenge, in resistance, in the kind of growth that demands every ounce of you. That's why most stop. That's why most settle. But not you. You weren't built to be average. You weren't designed to blend in. You were wired to win, to disrupt, to rise beyond every excuse and every delay and every story you've ever told yourself about why you can't. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are becoming. And everything you need to step into your next chapter is already inside you, buried beneath fear, waiting to be activated by courage. This is where you activate it. Right here. Right now. Because the moment you stop waiting and start becoming, life opens up. Opportunities that once ignored you now chase you. Rooms that once rejected you now invite you in. And not because the world changed, because you did. You stopped begging for approval, you stopped rehearsing defeat, you stopped playing small in a game you were born to win, and that decision changed everything. Champions don't wake up with less fear. They wake up with more resolve. They don't skip the struggle, they stare it down. They don't move because it's easy. They move because staying still is no longer an option. If you want transformation, you must abandon negotiation. You must stop asking your comfort zone for permission to be great. Your destiny does not consult your feelings. It waits for your consistency, and every day you delay, you pay. Not in money, in missed purpose, in silenced potential, in dreams that fade while distractions grow louder. So kill the delay, silence the doubt, move anyway. Because one move in alignment is worth more than 100 perfect plans never executed. And don't you dare measure yourself by yesterday's limits. You're not here to relive your past, you're here to rewrite it. When you walk like you own your calling, fear moves aside. When you speak like you believe it's already done, doors open. When you show up like you were born to lead, the world listens. So stop waiting for permission. Stop shrinking in rooms you were born to dominate. Your vision doesn't need validation. It needs action. You were not called to tiptoe through life hoping not to be noticed. You were called to rise with such boldness that mediocrity trembles when you enter. This is your time. Decide. Act. Build. Because the truth is, every excuse is rented, and it always comes with interest. You weren't meant to live in cycles of almost. You weren't made to visit greatness temporarily. You were built to own it. So raise your standards. Stretch your habits. Stop living on autopilot. Excellence doesn't show up randomly. It is summoned by repetition, by discipline, by the quiet refusal to give in when no one's watching. And the people who win, they're not always the most talented. They're just the ones who didn't quit when progress felt slow. They built brick by brick, choice by choice. They fell and rose again stronger, wiser, more certain than before. And you will too. Because momentum doesn't come from magic, it comes from motion. So get in motion. Build something so solid that doubt bounces off of it. Let your actions shout louder than your fears. Let your habits become the proof that you've already decided. Not that you will, but that you already are. Already disciplined, already committed, already chosen. Because when you start acting like the person you're becoming, you collapse the distance between who you were and who you are about to be. And that is the secret. Identity drives destiny. If you see yourself as powerful, your actions will follow. If you believe you were born to lead, your voice will carry differently. If you train your mind to expect victory, you'll start collecting it in places where others gave up. So don't ask, can I do this? Tell yourself, I am already doing this. Because that shift from question to declaration is where the magic begins. The difference between average and extraordinary isn't genetics, it's decision. It's deciding to show up when motivation runs dry. It's deciding to move forward when failure knocks you flat. It's deciding to believe in your vision when no one else sees it yet. And yes, the road will test you. You'll be misunderstood, overlooked, doubted, But none of that matters if you don't stop. Your consistency is the wrecking ball that will smash every limitation you've inherited or created. Your persistence is the torch that burns through every fog of confusion. And your belief, when fully owned, becomes the blueprint for every breakthrough. Don't wait for permission to evolve. You're not in this for applause. You're in this to win. You're in this to rewrite what's possible for you, for your family, for everyone watching in silence, hoping you make it so they'll believe they can too. You don't owe comfort to your past. You owe courage to your future. You don't owe loyalty to your limitations. You owe obedience to your potential. And every time you hesitate, remember this: there's someone out there with less experience, fewer connections, and more odds stacked against them still doing it. Still rising. Still executing. So why not you? Why not now? Make the decision that your future self will thank you for. Act today like the world already believes in you, because one day they will. But only if you go first. Because here's the secret: nobody feels ready, not truly. But those who act anyway, they get ready on the journey. They become while building. They grow while going. And every scar they collect becomes proof not of pain, but of progress. You were not meant to arrive perfect. You were meant to arrive powerful, forged through pressure. The fire you face is the same fire that hardens your resolve. So when it burns, don't retreat, lean in. Because the breakthrough you seek is often buried behind the resistance you fear. Your doubt is loud because your destiny is close. That's why your fear spikes when you're about to level up. Don't read that as a sign to slow down. Read it as a signal to go harder. Because momentum doesn't whisper, it roars when you stop flinching and start moving with conviction. So take the step. Send the message. Launch the idea. Speak the truth. Build the thing that won't leave your mind. And don't stop when it gets hard. Stop only when it's done. The world won't remember what you planned. It will remember what you finished. So finish this. Finish becoming who you were always meant to be. Finish the version of you that never needed saving, just a spark. And let this moment be the ignition. Because the life you dream about isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's hiding behind discipline. It's trapped behind tiny choices made consistently. It's disguised as a fortune paid, unseen, uncelebrated. But those moments, they stack. They matter. They become the bricks of your legacy. And when you look back, it won't be the applause you remember. It'll be the silence you kept walking through. The mornings you rose before the world did. The nights you chose focus over comfort. The decisions you made when no one was watching. That's what builds the version of you that can't be ignored. So keep moving, keep building, keep becoming. Because your future is already watching, waiting to meet the strongest version of you. And that version, it's not waiting for a sign. It is the sign. So move like it, lead like it, and never stop until you're living it. And when doubt comes knocking again, as it always does, don't answer with hesitation. Answer with evidence. The evidence of every morning you chose progress. The evidence of every moment you didn't fold. The evidence of every time you moved one step forward when everything inside begged you to quit. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, not timing, but the quiet, relentless discipline of someone who decided that they were no longer available for anything less than greatness. That's who you are now. Own it. From this moment on, don't just chase greatness, embody it. You were not born to repeat history. You were born to rewrite it. Every breath is a chance to rebuild. Every choice is a vote for your future. Success isn't a secret. It's a system. And systems are built tone action at a time. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more watching others live the life you want. It's your turn, not tomorrow. Now, because every delay is a decision, and indecision is a thief. It steals your fire, your drive, your time, but not anymore. From this moment, you move. Not because it's easy, but because it's required. Discipline over distraction. Vision over comfort. Purpose over perfection. This is not a dress rehearsal. It's the real thing. And it won't wait for you. The world only respects action. The universe responds to motion. So move. Fail forward. Learn fast. Repeat. The winners you admire weren't born different. They just stopped quitting. They trained through the pain. They showed up through the silence. They outlasted the noise. And so will you. Because there's power in your pattern. There's fire in your focus. There's destiny in your discipline. This is your reminder. You don't need a new dream. You need new habits. You don't need a louder voice. You need bolder action. You don't need more time. You need more clarity. And that clarity starts with one thing: a decision. Decide who you are. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Decide what must change now. And then burn the old map. Because the old path brought you here. But here is not where you stay. Growth demands movement. And movement requires courage. Not absence of fear, but action in spite of it. So take the step, even if you shake, even if you stumble, even if no one claps. Do it anyway, because your future doesn't need spectators. It needs you, the real you, unapologetic, unshaken, unstoppable. And that version, it's not out there waiting. It's in you, buried under hesitation, hidden beneath habit, chained by doubt. Break it. Break the cycle. Break the silence. And speak your truth through action. Let your life be the proof. Let your consistency be the answer. Let your presence be undeniable, because you weren't meant to blend in. You were born to stand tall, to walk bold, to build without permission. So stop shrinking. Start leading. Start becoming louder than your fears, clearer than your excuses, stronger than your past. Every minute matters. Every habit counts. And you don't need perfect. You need consistent. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Action creates clarity. Clarity creates momentum. Momentum rewrites your identity. So start small, but start now. Track your wins. Stack your progress. Protect your energy. Respect your time. Stop negotiating with mediocrity. You've done enough waiting, enough explaining, enough hoping someone would see your value. You see it. You claim it. You activate it. And once you do, the game changes. The world starts to respond differently. Doors open. People listen. Results multiply. Because aligned action speaks louder than any plan. So align. Commit. Move. And never ask for permission to rise. No one can stop you unless you agree. So don't agree with your limitations. Don't partner with your pain. Don't identify with the old version of you. That version served its purpose. Now it's time to evolve. And evolution requires release. Release who you were. Step into who you're becoming. And walk like it's already done. Because belief is a posture. It's how you enter the room. It's how you speak your name. It's how you handle the storms. With calm, with conviction, because you know what you're building. And you know why it matters. You're not chasing applause. You're chasing alignment. You're not chasing comfort. You're chasing greatness. And greatness is found in routine, in the quiet reps no one sees, in the battles you win in silence, in the tears you turn into fuel. You've been tested. You've been pressed, but not broken. And that pressure? It's forming the foundation for a future too strong to shake. So honor the wait. It's shaping your will, it's proving your depth, and it's unlocking your power. The real power, not loud, not flashy, but grounded, consistent, focused. And that focus, it's what makes you dangerous. Because most people drift, but not you. You've decided. And that decision, it changes everything. It breaks the cycle. It ends the delay. It silences the doubt. And it commands the room. Because real power isn't shouted, it's felt. In how you show up, in what you repeat, in what you refuse to quit on. This is not motivation. This is responsibility. Responsibility for your calling, your vision, your growth. And that responsibility, it's sacred. So treat it like it matters. Treat it like your future depends on it, because it does. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact. You are not here to be seen. You are here to be felt. Your energy, your voice, your example, let it echo in the lives you touch. And it starts with consistency, not perfection, not brilliance, just daily proof that you're not done, that you're not finished becoming, that your story is still being written by your own hand. So pick up the pen. Own the next chapter. Don't just hope for better. Build it. Better is not found. It's forged in discipline, forged in decisions, forged in the quiet, where no one's watching, where no one's clapping. That's where champions are made. And that's where you live now, not for approval, not for ease, but for impact, for legacy. Because you're not building for today, you're building for forever. So stop measuring progress by applause. Measure it by alignment. By the days you wanted to quit but didn't. By the habits you wanted to break and did. By the strength you had to summon alone. That's the proof. That's the standard. That's the path. And if you stay on it, you will rise. It's not a question. It's a promise. So keep showing up. Keep proving it. Keep walking like your future depends on it, because it does. Because consistency isn't sexy. It's not shiny. It's not viral, but it's effective. It builds trust with yourself. It builds momentum with your mission. It builds identity with every rep. You're becoming the person who finishes, the one who follows through, the one who leads without noise. And that identity, it's priceless. You don't buy it. You earn it. In the dark, in the cold, in the silence, when no one believes in you yet, when no one sees the vision yet, but you do. You always have. That's why you're still here, and that's why you'll win, because you kept going. You trusted the process. You honored the work, and now the work will honor you. So walk like it, act like it, lead like it. The world may not understand, but it will feel it. Your presence, your power, your peace, it all flows from your discipline. Protect it. Because once your discipline is protected, your destiny is unstoppable. You don't flinch. You don't fold. You don't fade when it gets hard. You rise. You anchor. You expand. And your consistency becomes your confidence. Your habits become your armor. Your mindset becomes your weapon. And the world? It bends to the one who refuses to break. So refuse. Refuse to stop. Refuse to settle. Refuse to hand your future to fear. This is your time. This is your proof. This is your reminder that you were always meant to win. So act like it. Live like it. Walk like it. And don't look back. Because everything you're building, it's already yours. All you have to do is stay consistent. Keep walking. Keep working. Keep rising. Because every step counts. Every breath matters. And every act of discipline carves your future into reality. You don't need luck. You need consistency. And that's already in you. So show it, prove it, live it, until the world has no choice but to recognize you were meant to win. You've come too far to doubt now. Too many battles won, too many scars earned, too much growth to pretend you're the same. You're not. You've changed. You've evolved. You've outgrown fear and silence. And now, it's time to act like it, walk like it, build like it, because the world will test you. It will whisper lies. It will offer shortcuts, but you won't flinch. You know who you are. You know why you started. And more importantly, you know you're not done. This is your next level. Not later, not someday, now. The only thing standing between you and the life you envision is your decision to move, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it's slow, because speed doesn't win the race. Consistency does, focus does, conviction does, and you've got all three, buried under noise, hidden by excuses. It's time to reclaim them. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more apologizing for wanting more. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to hide your brilliance. This is your permission to go all in. No more fragments, no more half effort. Just undiluted, undeniable, and unstoppable. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You don't need approval to evolve. You don't need permission to be powerful. What you need is to decide, to commit again, to show up again, to rise again. And that decision, it changes everything. It changes how you think, how you speak, how you move. You begin walking like a winner long before the world sees the trophy. You act like it's already done, because it is. The future you want is not out there. It's inside, waiting for you to activate it, to breathe life into it, to show the world what alignment looks like in motion. That's your edge. That's your power. Not being better than others, being better than your former self, every day, in every detail. Because excellence is not an act, it's a pattern. It's how you pour the coffee, how you start your day, how you finish your promises. Excellence leaves evidence. And your life? It's becoming undeniable proof that consistency wins, even when no one's watching, even when everything inside you says stop. You don't. You pause. You breathe. Then you continue. That's discipline. That's growth. That's power. It's power with patience. It's strength without noise. It's momentum built in the shadows. Not everyone will see it. Not everyone will understand, but you will. You'll feel it, because every rep matters. Every choice stacks. Every small win compounds. That's how legends are built. Not in the spotlight, but in the dark, where no one claps, where no one cheers, but you keep going, because you're not here for claps. You're here for change. You're not here for followers. You're here for freedom. And freedom is earned. Through the work, through the sweat, through the tears you hide. You've paid too much to stop now. You've sacrificed too much to shrink. So expand. Take up space. Stand tall in your truth. And don't you dare apologize for your ambition. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. You're not chasing the dream. You're becoming the person worthy of it. And that's the real goal. Not the car, not the title, but the strength you gain along the way, the mindset, the resilience, the unshakable belief that says, this is mine, not by chance, by choice. And every day you choose it again, not because it's easy, but because it's right. You are here to lead yourself first, to master the inner war, the whispers of doubt, the weight of resistance. Because when you conquer yourself, nothing outside can shake you. That's real power. Not control over others, but complete command over your own focus, your own fire, your own follow-through. That's rare. That's priceless. And it's earned through one thing: consistency. Not flashy, not famous, but final. Because the consistent one always finishes. So keep rising, keep going, keep building a life that feels like truth. Let others chase trends. You chase transformation. Let others chase speed. You chase sustainability. Let others quit when it gets quiet. You double down. Because your foundation is built for storms. It's built for delay. It's built for glory. And you were built to endure. You don't flinch. You don't flee. You lead. Through the chaos, through the silence, through it all. Because legacy is not built in comfort. It's built in challenge, in discipline, in choosing growth over ease. And you choose that daily. That's the reason the old you can't survive here. You've upgraded. You've evolved. You don't negotiate with weakness anymore. You walk with purpose. You speak with clarity. You breathe with conviction. Because you've tasted the fire and survived it. Now you burn brighter. Not for attention, for illumination. You lead others by living fully, by showing what's possible, by proving that commitment outlives talent, that focus outperforms luck, that resilience rewrites destiny. So no, you're not lucky. You're locked in. No, you're not gifted. You're grounded. And no, you're not done. You're just getting started. So let the world catch up. You'll be too busy building, too busy leading, too busy becoming the version of you that nothing can stop. And every day you show up, the gap between who you are and who you're becoming gets smaller. Not through hype, not through shortcuts, but through discipline, the real kind. The kind that wakes you up when it's hard, that keeps you moving when no one claps, that reminds you why you started when the fire dims. This is the cost of greatness, and you've already paid too much to stop now. So double down. Take one more step. Say one more affirmation. Do one more rep. Because that one, that's where the shift happens. That's where the old identity dies, and the new one, fully aligned, fully alive, emerges. This is no longer about success. This is about legacy. What you leave behind. What echoes when you're gone. Let it be proof you didn't fold. You didn't fake it. You forged it. You fought through. You followed through. And you finished strong. And now, there's no turning back. You've tasted alignment. You've built momentum. You've created rhythm. And rhythm is power. It keeps you moving even on low days. It keeps you focused when noise gets loud. Because you don't need hype. You need peace. You need clarity. You need purpose. And purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. It's quiet. It's calm. But it's loud enough to lead. So listen. Trust it. Follow it. Let the old stories die. Let the doubts go silent. Let your truth speak louder than your fear. You're not here to repeat history. You're here to create it. And creation takes courage. It takes presence. It takes consistency. And that's your edge. Because while others are distracted, you're dialed in. While others complain, you commit. While others delay, you deliver. You're different. You're built different. You're becoming undeniable. So stop asking if you're ready. You are. Stop wondering if it's working. It is. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You create it. Right now. With one more push, one more decision, One more second of courage. That's how legacies are built. That's how breakthroughs are born. Not in noise, but in discipline. And you've proven it 1,000 times. So here's the final truth. You're not becoming powerful. You already are. You're not chasing purpose. You're aligned with it. You're not trying to win. You've already won when you refuse to quit. So rise with purpose. Step deeper into your strength, because what comes next will demand everything you've built so far. This is the moment everything aligns. Every sacrifice, every early morning, every lonely night, every time you chose to keep going when quitting felt easier. It all brought you here, to the edge of your next level, where belief becomes unshakable, where fear turns into fuel, where doubt disappears in the face of relentless action. Because winners don't wait for perfect timing. They decide, they move. They make it perfect by showing up consistently. You didn't come this far to ask for permission. You didn't build this fire to keep it small. You came to dominate your lane, to claim what's already yours in spirit, to silence every excuse that used to hold you back. You've broken the cycle. Now it's time to build the legacy. No more second guessing. No more playing small. No more shrinking to fit their comfort. You've grown past the limits they set. You've seen what you're made of. Now double it. Triple it. Multiply your hunger by your discipline. Stack your habits like weapons. Because life bows to the relentless. And you're no longer chasing greatness. You're living it. You've tasted the edge of your potential. And now you get to explode through it. You no longer hope. You expect. You no longer wish. You create. That version of you that once hesitated? Gone. That voice that whispered, not enough? Silenced. Because now the only voice you hear is the one that says, I was born for this, and you believe it. Not because it's easy, but because you made it real. You did the work. You earned the edge. And now you sharpen it daily. With consistency. With intention. With no apologies. You show up like your future depends on it because it does. You speak like the outcome is inevitable because it is. You walk like success is chasing you because it's already catching up. People ask what changed. They don't see the 1,000 quiet battles. They don't see the war within you that you won every morning before the world woke up. But they feel the shift. They feel the presence. Because the energy of someone who refused to break is undeniable. And now, you carry that energy everywhere. You bring it into every room, into every conversation, into every decision. Because now you lead. You command. Not with noise, but with certainty. You don't beg for approval. You radiate self-trust. And that changes everything. You became consistent, and that changed your identity. You became relentless, and that changed your environment. You became disciplined, and that changed your destiny. This is the cost of greatness. Not luck, not hype, but daily, deliberate, undeniable effort. And now it's yours. Not because it was given, but because you refused to fold, even when no one clapped, even when no one watched, even when no one believed. You believed, and that made you dangerous. Now nothing can unmake the version of you who rose from your own ashes. Nothing can undo the fire you forged. So step forward, not as someone becoming, but as someone who already is. Because the world doesn't need another doubter. It needs a giant. And you're walking proof that giants are real. You weren't made to survive this life. You were made to master it, to leave a mark so deep it echoes through generations, to speak and have mountains move, to lead even when it feels like walking alone, to fight for something bigger than yourself. Because legacy isn't built in comfort. It's carved through pain. through purpose, through persistence. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll do it again. Not because you have to, but because winners don't need reminders. Their mission lives in their bones. So stand tall, not for applause, but because your presence is your message. And your story? It's not about perfection. It's about resilience, about rising, about the choice to keep showing up when no one else does. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes your life a signal, not just a story. So when they ask who you are, tell them, I am the storm. I am the proof. I am the one who never backed down. I am the one who acted like I was meant to win. And because of that, everything fell into place. You don't need more time. You need more truth. The truth is, you've always had what it takes. The truth is, fear only wins when you pause. The truth is, the only permission you ever needed was your own. You don't owe the old version of yourself anything. Let them go. You're not here to repeat survival. You're here to create dominance, to embody everything you used to wish for. And now, you're doing it, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days, because pressure doesn't break you, it builds you. You've made your choice. You've stepped into your calling. You've become a living declaration of consistency, courage, and clarity. And the world? It watches in silence, but soon it will follow. Because when one person rises with fire in their soul and discipline in their actions, it ignites others. You've become that spark. And now, you light the way. You light the way by showing up, by pushing through resistance, by proving that greatness isn't gifted, it's built day by day, brick by brick, thought by thought. Your mind is no longer a battlefield. It's your headquarters. It's where vision meets commitment. And every day, you sharpen that vision. Every day, you reinforce that commitment. You no longer wait for motivation. You move with momentum. Because success isn't about mood, it's about motion. And you are always in motion. Not scattered, but aligned. Not perfect, but powerful. Not flawless, but fearless. You've made your life a masterpiece of effort, a canvas of decisions made in silence. And now, the world begins to hear the echo of a life lived on purpose, with power, with presence, with no apologies. You are not lucky. You are not random. You are chosen by the vision you refuse to abandon. And now, you've become unstoppable. Unstoppable in your discipline. Unstoppable in your purpose. Unstoppable in your belief. Because you've trained yourself to never retreat, to never fold, to never forget why you started. And now, you lead with conviction. You breathe with intention. You speak with gravity. Everything about you says, this is what commitment looks like. This is what rising feels like. And still you're just getting started. Because greatness has no finish line. There's always another level, another wall to break, another limit to stretch. And that excites you. Because this isn't pressure anymore, it's privilege. The privilege of being ready, prepared, worthy. You don't chase outcomes. You embody them. You don't wait for applause. You create silence so loud it can't be ignored. This is who you are now. Unshakable, unmovable, unstoppable. And as you step into the next chapter, remember, you didn't get lucky. You got consistent. You didn't fake it. You forged it. You didn't hope. You acted like you were meant to win. And now, everything falls into place. Because your consistency didn't just build success, it built character. It built trust in yourself. It built proof that effort stacks, even when it's quiet. Others may see only the results, but you know the rituals, the early starts, the late finishes, the small wins no one clapped for, The inner war you won again and again. And through it all you kept going. Not because it was easy, but because you became someone who doesn't stop. You became someone who honors their word even in the dark. That's the kind of strength no one can fake. And that's why everything is finally falling into place. Because you earned it. You lived it. You bled for it. And now it's yours. So go. Walk like you already own the room. Speak like you're already heard. Move like the outcome already belongs to you. Because it does. This isn't the end. This is the arrival of the you the world was always waiting for,